Good evening and welcome to The Business Coach, a show in which you out help entrepreneurs better their businesses. My name is Ian Dennis and I'd like to start off the show by telling you guys Happy New Year. I know it's never too late, we're still in January. Tonight on the show I'm going to be exploring the events Decor business, and on the show tonight I'm going to be meeting up with a gentleman named Moses who runs a company called Mosaic, who will be later linking up to Melissa of Urban Live. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Business Coach. Hi Moses.
Hi.
My goodness, I just like the setup here. I'm in the process of, in my mind, mentally preparing for a wedding.
Okay.
So you're taking me through the costs of all this, and I'm shocked. You told me this is how much is this? You just have this as part of your setup.
When you're doing it with flowers, fresh flowers, it's 1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're doing artificial, it's 2,000.
My goodness. And the table with the setup?
The tablecloth, 500. With just the tablecloth, and then some clients would want the charger plates and the napkins. The napkins are 50 shillings, and then the charger plates.
Napkin is 50 shillings?
50 shillings.
Wow.
The charger plates are 150, and the mirror glass is 200 shillings.
Wedding, it's not cheap.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
So you'd rather go to AG, but anyway. So let me just get into your story. You're in the events decor business. What exactly prompted you to get into this?
What I said, it's passion. My passion towards planning and organizing events. I started when we were having family gatherings. I'd be the one to be asked to do the decorations, to do the planning, to do the organizing. Yeah, so that's where I got my passion from, and also it's something that I've always wanted to do since from childhood. Because I find my mom would tell me arrange the house, wash the house, clean the house, do everything. So that's where the passion came from. And then when I finished my course, I just started to do something for myself, and I started with catering, and then I decided to specialize on decoration.
Interesting. Your journey to business has been quite interesting, because you told me at a point in time you were working as a chef. How long did you work as a chef? What prompted you to be a chef, and how exactly after that was the transition into business?
Yeah, I started as a barman at Mona Lisa Hotel, and then from there is when I got a job. I got another job as a cook from Upper Hill Springs.
Oh, there's a difference between a cook and a chef.
Yes, there's a difference.
So you are a cook
you have to
at one
graduate.
time.
You have to graduate from a cook and then come to a chef. So I started as a cook at Upper Hill Springs. I worked for around 1 year, and then I decided to now specialize on a chef. I got a job as a chef. That's why I started doing the chef work.
Interesting. And for how long did you do it? And at what point did you say that, no, I'm tired of being employed, I want to go to it on my own?
Yeah, I did it for 1.5 years. 1.5 years, then I decided to... Actually, before I quit my job, I decided to just do something also side hustle, whereby I started the catering work, because now I have experience in kitchen works. So I decided to do catering, whereby I could cook for people and then they pay me. I could do catering for small events, and then I get some cash for myself. And the first event that I did for catering was my cousin's wedding. I did catering for him, and that's actually decided to start from there. Yeah.
Interesting. And one of your main clientele are persons who are going to wed, and probably weddings that form part of your main clientele. How exactly has it been? Because I am part of a Facebook group whereby I usually see people complain, most of suppliers, yeah, you supply something, watu wa kulipi, and they had high promises by the time they're coming to you. Yeah. How exactly has this experience been? Yeah,
I would say like starting, it was very difficult because it happens like sometimes you deliver and then you don't get paid the way you agreed. Sometimes you deliver, things happen in the process of planning and in the process of delivering. Yeah, so you find some clients will not be able to understand you. Some clients will not be able to like give you a listening ear to understand what's going on. Sometimes you do a quotation, and then when you go to the market to buy the items, you find the prices have gone high. So you end up going to your pocket. Yeah, so it has been so tough because when you don't do your planning well and you don't do your quotation so well, you end up spending a lot more than what you had quoted for the client.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And starting off this particular journey, you told me that you started off when you made your transition, there's no capital spent. How exactly was it? Because I presume everything here costs a dime. Hakuna kitu ya bure. By the time you're charging me this 1,500, si bure.
Yeah.
How exactly was your process in terms of scaling up?
Yeah, I started with just nothing actually. I didn't have anything. What I had was just the talent and the passion just to do this thing. So what I did, I approached some of the people in this industry who have been in the industry for long. I told them I also want to start something like this. And I remember when I was starting my page, Facebook page, I just started with my phone. I just went to Facebook, I created my page, and then I started inviting my friends to like the page. And from there I just grew, shared it with other groups. I shared it with other groups on WhatsApp. WhatsApp, shared with my friends, and people just started liking. And I remember also when in the process of just sharing in those groups, you find people calling you to do inquiries, you find people calling you to, they have small events they want to do, and then also you find people want to do weddings. So you find that someone comes, they want to do wedding, you don't have an office, you don't have those things. So
how did you manage that?
So what you do, you take them to those suppliers who have those things. You just talk to them on prior, and then you take your client there, they give you a space, you do your own demo setup, and then you show the client, and then, yeah.
No, that was it.
Yeah, literally, yeah. I started just like that, and then the client will just see the way you're doing the planning, the way you're arranging the table, and they give you a job.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting thing about this particular business is that it's filled with a lot of human dynamics, whereby you deal with people and you have some experiences. Maybe you're taking me through some of your worst experience where someone called you in Kisii. Take me through that.
Yeah, so normally you meet different people, and as you can see, there are so many people with expectations. Someone will come with you, I want this exactly like this. Some people will come with different pictures. They're asking you if you can deliver exactly something like that. Yes, you can deliver, but there are just so many different people. Like there's an event I did in Kisii, and then the quotation my quotation was not up to the way it's supposed to be. I did not quote the way it's supposed to be quoted. I underquoted in this instance. Yeah, so you find when I went to Kisii, the logistic was a bit high, and the quotation it didn't like work the way I'd quoted. So I ended up using money from my pocket to finance transport, finance my staff. I remember getting stuck in Kisii. I remember getting stuck, and it really took me a lot of days, some days before I came back.
You actually got stuck in Kisii for days?
For days, yeah. I think 4 days, 5 days.
Damn.
Yeah, and you see when you have some things from other clients, other suppliers that you had hired, they'll now start becoming suspicious of you. No one will understand you. At that point, no one actually was understanding. Everyone was like,
and that was just in your initial years in business?
Yeah, those actually I was just starting. Yeah.
And what are some of the lessons from that particular experience?
Being very critical when you're doing your quotation. Nowadays when I'm doing my quotation, I have to check very well that I've done everything the way it's supposed to be done. I've quoted everything that I'll need for that event so that I don't end up going to my pocket. I've also realized, I've learned to manage myself very well in terms of finance, in terms of planning, logistics and everything, so that I don't end up messing up client and also myself with my team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And we're still amid the pandemic, and 2020 was the hardest because everything was closed, guys will not gather, and your main business primarily relies on events. How are you surviving? How did you go through that particular period?
I would say it was tough because my companies took off. It started peaking in 2019 towards the end.
And you started in 2017?
And I started in 2017.
Wow. So it took 2 years for you to start picking up?
It took 3 years for me to get to Nini.
And then COVID began.
Yeah, so in 2019 I started doing so well, also towards the start of 2020. And then now in March, it came as a shock because no one was prepared, no one knew that it's going to happen. So I had by that time I had so many clients who had booked. I had so many events that were coming up, big events. Yeah, so when they had the restrictions from government of lockdowns and everything, everyone now decided to cancel. No one was postponing their event. So I'd get so many calls of people postponing the event, people cancelling the events, and so it was a shock because now if they had paid, you had already booked flowers, those guys don't do any refund. So, but you see the client, according to the contract, you have to refund them 100%. Yeah, so I ended up refunding all the clients their money and remaining actually nothing. So actually no event was happening on that during that time. It was so tough, and I just asked myself what I'm going to do because I'm not going to sit just like this. I decided to look for a job. Yeah, I looked for a job as a chef, and I got a job at a restaurant.
Doesn't think about being skilled.
Yeah, so at least you have something to back up in terms of when something like that happens, you have something that you can look up to. So I remember after that time immediately, it happened in March.
And you got a job as a chef, and most of the restaurants are being closed also, and hotels.
Yeah, I got. The funny thing is that
you can just say you're lucky.
Kipevu restaurant is located inside KPA.
Yeah.
KPA Kenya Pipeline. Yeah. So most workers they didn't go for any. They didn't have any restriction. Yeah, so it was so easy for me getting a job there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it really helped me. Yeah. It helped me until something like August is when I got my first client. Yeah.
So it was a tough period.
Yeah.
And maybe just as we wind up, where exactly do you wish to see Mosaic events probably in the next couple of years? Because you've been through the dirt like everybody was in 2020.
I would like to get the most corporate companies. I would like to go into corporate mostly, and also multinational companies to do for them the events, the product launches, the conferences. That's where I would like to see myself, and maybe growing to a larger number in terms of teamwork and yeah, just my business being international. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Tukipitia 2020 kila kitu saini amen.
Yeah.
There's nothing you have not seen. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short commercial break, but after the break I'm going to be linking up Moses to Melissa of Urban Life for more conversations around the events, Decor business. So don't touch that dial. I'll see you after the break.